Hello and welcome back to the next episode. Now, I made a small break because I had to travel for work, therefore I couldn't progress as I expected. Instead, I had to do some days off, therefore I had a lack of, well, activity basically in the game, and I have no clue where we are. So I'm going to use a little bit of time here to also talk about what I want to do and where we're at currently. So last time we designed the ships we want to use, the ship construction here in 90 days, 2 times, and then afterwards I hope that we can take out a destroyer or something smaller. There's something traveling towards Earth here on a trajectory close to the sun. However, it's going to arrive like in 2 weeks, so that's nothing I want to take out. However, we still have fleets in the orbit of Earth, so maybe something like that can be addressed there when the time comes. But I'm sure there will be enough to do afterwards. Also, what I want to keep an eye out, so which probably is going to happen in between episodes, that I check out the tech I need to do. For example, I want to slowly progress towards Marines and such, because I want at some point to take over basically all sites on Mars. Because the long-term plan still is to, let's say, build a Fortress Mars here and from there reconquer Earth. Earlier in the game, it was possible to do basically a Mercury Phoenix and then return to Earth, but with the changes to the costs of Mercury, which costs like 2 or 4 times, 3.5 times in fact, the metal you normally need, it's much more expensive, and also you don't have any volatiles and such, which we would need here, and Mars has a decent balance of everything, so we could pull that off. However, that also means we need to do operation centers at some point on Mars to have the mission control there. However, for the moment, we want to continue and develop somewhat into our fortress world here. Yeah, I'm not sure how we want to engineer the fall of Earth later on. So right now we are already basically destined to fall, unless we can militarily defend all aliens if they come knocking, because we have Russia under control of the servants, which is basically the recipe for a nuclear war. And then we also have China under the protectorate, which is also a recipe for a nuclear war. And we shouldn't forget that India is under the control of humanity first, so I'm somewhat convinced that they might end up fighting some one of the other factions here at some point. And also we have the European Union under the control of the Academy, which is really, really nice, and I really, really like that. However, there's still a lot of stuff which they don't own, and at some point they might want to pick the military path to solve that problem. Right now they have 4 armies, decent military skill, and that's it. However, we are with information age now, which means we do have... yeah, we do have a decent military. I do want to get up to 6, I think, to be safe for any late... Ooh, what happened to our publicity here? Exodus got a massive boost here. So in fact, we should address this.
Prepping for mission.
Let's take our...
Prepping for mission.
Ooh, we already...
Laying the groundwork.
In fact, we already passed the mission phase last time. In this case, let's just go on and see what happens. Meanwhile, we are also working on finishing up the Central American Confederation here, and Great Nations is already on the horizon, and from there on it's progressing slowly. Okay, we want to get 1 or 2 guys over into the US now, and the Central American. Do we need... I thought we did Project 5 already. Yeah, it's just unlocked it. We bought with the reactor level 5. Okay, and now we are going to declare war on Panama here. Confirm, and America is going to join. Perfect. And you are going here. And let's finish the job here. Oh yeah, it was Pulsar. we're not going to pull it in here. So basically, for the moment, we're just going to wait it out more or less. And yeah, there's not super much we can do. We always have to keep an eye out for the orcs here, but there's not too much attractive stuff going on there right now. Construction module is also something we want to pick up at some point, but it's not urgent right now. In fact, most important is new orcs. A crew. Ah, criminal. Okay, we don't have that. That's a 1-star. American Mafia. This is way too expensive. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything we want to take. We are pretty good set up on orcs right now. We could, of course, improve on it when we infiltrate someone from the... Woo! That's really good. We've got our army in Colombia now, which means we can also start here. And now we can decide what to do. We want to have a space program here next, but we also want to get rid of the inequality here. So basically, I want to do something like this. Oh, okay, continue. And there's the alien fleet we talked about. And now let's just move everything to Panama and take it into Central American Union, American Confederation. Then this one is resolved. It's only Panama City is missing. Okay, now what I wanted to do, decline. What I wanted to do here now is basically we need to reduce unrest here in the US to make our military development as efficient as possible. And what else can we do? Ooh, there's some alien activity we can investigate. And yeah, we should continue. Oh yeah, we need public campaigns. After we annex the Panama into the CAF, we are going to reduce the unrest here. And also we do have then afterwards a decent industrial base here, which will help us develop this one and basically address the problems we have here. I think I can... I know we still need a little bit of mission control. Yeah, we do still need a little bit of mission control. And... yeah, I think that's basically... we need like 75 mission control in total. With the quests we probably get from after parasites and so on. And that's probably the main stuff we really need to address. And also I want to have some mission control here in the US after we reconquer it in the Phoenix, because we don't want to just run everything on Spaceborne. Mission control, it's just the minimum we can use basically. And let's see how that works out. But for the moment, we are going to stabilize whatever we have here. So there we are down to moderate already. That's really, really good. Which means that the cohesion here is going to be much less of a problem. And also it means that when we start integrating the other stuff into it, it's going to be easier. We do, however, need to conquer Canada militarily as soon as we have the Great Nations project to not destroy our military score, which we have like score 5 here. So basically that we are not going the peaceful path of unification. We are going the I don't know, conquest path basically. I'm going to skip ahead here a bit because basically it's just waiting out and developing the stuff we have so far, and I don't think anything surprising will happen right now. Hey, here we are in the next mission phase, basically a 2 missions phase. So like 2 missions ahead. Mm, mm, mm. So basically we finished off the CAF. No. CAC. And now we are going into Great Colombia here. And we already declared war on Venezuela here. And now the next one is going to be then Guyana and afterwards Suriname. While I do the last coup d'etat in Ecuador. And afterwards we need to look at Bolivia, which we are going to need for the South American Union. Not 100% sure how I want to do it in detail. However, what I need to spend attention to is, if we look at intel here, we want to keep in tolerance or at most in conflict with all the other factions. And the best way to do this is to make sure that the passive decay of relations does not target us, which means we need to be lower than most of them in regards to control points plus mission control. So we can see here, for example, Humanity First is combined 227. They are at combined 350 roughly. They are with 310, 360 roughly, 320, 330 roughly. And that's what we need to pay attention to, because as soon as we get ahead, they might not like us. So we have to be very careful here and not take too much out. But however, unifying these countries here will not be that control point intensive, because we are merging them together. Therefore, we are going to decrease in the end, most likely. Okay, now our armies are fully stacked here. So let's move out into Venezuela. Take it out first place. Okay, coup d'etat has worked here.
The people will come to our side.
Repeat.
Order is returning.
Yeah, we need to control our unrest. We also need to start working on Colombia here.
Direction complete.
But first of all, we are going after Guyana. That didn't have allies, right? Yeah, it didn't. Guyana is next. And we, of course, joining the war. There we go. And that's the path which we are going to take here. We don't care about these kind of things, but one other thing we want to do is probably take out Brazil here. Because ideally, as soon as we have the South American Union, we want to return territory from Brazil and Grand Colombia to the then South American Union. And that's going to give the South American Union a decent industry base from the get-go. And then we can make an army if we can't make it beforehand, and then conquer the rest, basically, including the ones we already own. That should be the fastest path to unifying everything down here. And of course, coup d'etat-ing everything on the way, which we need to do. And that's basically the rough outset for the next mission. Tech-wise, not much has changed. We are still pushing for quantum encryption to get the last agent, because as soon as we hit like all the objectives we have on the map, more or less, we do want to look into solidifying our grasp and take out agents, optimize our agents, and so on. Basically want to weaken the factions we don't want to succeed. For example, we could hurt the protectorate if we want to buff the servants, or we could, for example, help them by coup d'etat-ing stuff they could annex, which is maybe helpful. But we could also help the academy or kick off some war on the world we need to. But first of all, let's continue where we are. Okay, well, to the next mission phase, or the last mission phase of this episode, we have conquered so far everything in the north of South America, up to Peru, which is of course in the hands of the European Union. Now we do, however, have a decent chunk of population now, 86 million. A little bit of industry in this regard, but our unrest here, or rather the inequality, is extremely high. And we are basically just doing economy and welfare to get this down and nothing else. In regards to our military, we are going to take out Ecuador, which is going to be the last one, adding another 20 million to the state. And we could add Panama to it, but we don't want to because Panama is going into the North American Federation or whatever it's called. In between, the mining on Mars has finally finished, so we are now at 30 of 34, so that's relatively close. But 2 more ships are coming, and then afterwards we are 32, so that should be fine. In regards to ship construction, it's only 28 days left, so that's going to be something for the next episode to look forward to. Therefore, let's finish it up. There's also probably an alien agent here, because someone flipped the thing here to the Protectorate, and I do assume that was an agent because there was nothing else detected and it just happened. In regards to everything else, the unrest in the CAC is resolved. You can use a little bit here in
We'll turn down
America itself. Ooh, Mexico also needs a little bit. So let's use Flores here.
We'll make things safe.
And we do need another agent because we got this down to 3.3. 4.3 is way too much. 6.3 cohesion and GDP. I mean, at least both increasing. So unrest should go down here long term, but and here, how much do we have here? 0.82. The cohesion will also fix this one. And cohesion is slowly going up, yeah, nicely. That's really, really good. So cohesion and unrest is almost resolved in the US now. Which means you are going to do what? Public campaign. Yeah, let's do one in Canada and then switch to the US again. We are still at around 309, that's just really, really good. So as long as we stay below 350 in total, we shouldn't have problems. I picked the research centers here because we do need them at some point, but quantum encryption is going to finish in a second. And that's going to be ours, in fact, yeah, also great nations. So we can continue. And quantum encryption is what we want. I know that's what we did. So let's check what we need for the next agent. So quantum encryption. That has happened, and let's check it out. From quantum encryption, covert ops is spawning. Okay, so that's all we need right now. Crisis diplomacy is also nice to pick up. And we also want to get resource market administration here. Space traffic control is also very good if we can get it. But what does it need? It needs administrative algorithm, which we are not going to do. Okay, so let's have a look at the science here. I think I want to pick up the cybernetic implants soon, just to have that resolved as well. Space hospital might be a thing. No, we don't have the mission control too. Oh, let's take this one first to get better events, in fact, for Mars, which is going to be useful. Do we want to push great nations though? No. I think we're going to stay like this. Ferrocite's also finishing up in a sec, so that's really, really useful. And there we go already. So that's of course a change. In fact, let's wait for this one here. So let's just do it like this. And then it finish up in 1 day. Ferrocites has finished. Nice. Why is there no sound?
We are learning how the Hydras control our people's minds, Commander.
And with that, now we know that the Hydras are producing ferrocites to control humans and other animals and stuff. So Hydra containment when it comes available, which is not right now. Meanwhile, I'm going to pick up the Xeno Science Research Center because that's something we... Oh no, wait a second. Didn't think about it. Covert operations, of course. And afterwards we are going into the hybrid containment as soon as we get it. But first, a new agent. And there we go. We found him. In fact, it was an alien.
Wrapping up here.
Let's... Yeah, we do need to investigate him again, but I want to take him
We are
out, in
winning their
fact.
hearts and minds.
Or maybe it's the candidate for detainment.
Order is returning.
Let's see. Ooh, 0.1 is still left, so let's
Things
do
are
it again.
stabilizing.
You do it again as well. And yeah, okay, the armies are arriving. Parasite liable. It's something I want to do because I don't want to lose CP in the US to alien missions if I don't pay attention. But it's not urgent right now. Okay, and let's finish up the Grand Columbia project here. And apparently we can't. We do need to pick up the operations center. There's a lot of stuff, small, cheap stuff, which we need to pick up. So that's definitely something to look forward to. And also, space battle in the next episode. So we maybe shouldn't shoot this one. Yeah, let's first of all check it out. So if we want to... we don't have enough investigation. That's our biggest problem here right now. Could use this one. So if we undo this one, we could get 2 and 2. That's really, really useful. We already moved out to espionage to get more of it. 15. Do we have anything on someone else? Here. What do you have? Hilder. Yeah, you have Hilder. But it's +1. I don't care about +1. So we had 15. Yeah, I'm afraid that's not going to work. So it's like a 13% base chance. 69% if we invest everything we got. That's a lot. Maybe let's do 32, risk it.
Initiating surveillance.
Then we don't go bankrupt on ops too fast. In regards to public opinion, let's continue on
Persuade the people.
US because something is pushing towards Exodus and I don't like it. And I think that's it for this episode. And in the next one we finally have our first battle, which is going to be very useful in regards to progressing towards the very important quests to make all of this stable. Therefore, see you next time. Leave a like and subscribe.